Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Augustus, and I'm back again with another episode of Tsukihime. And when we last left off, Arc was in a bad way, I guess, is probably the simplest way that we can put it. We're going to go very quickly into what happened to her inside the story itself, so I don't think I need to go into it any more than is necessary. But as I said, as I've been saying for the last couple episodes, we're getting so close to the end, and that's a bit of a scary thing, moving on to Ciel's route, and, I like her route well enough, I guess, but man, change is hard. Change is scary. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Arcueid. There's no response. Even though her body is still here, even though her body is still this soft, even though I still remember the sound of her voice in my ears, never again. None of this will ever happen again. What have I been doing? I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to teach her so many things. I wanted to take her to so many places. I wanted to be with her forever. But it can never happen. She's done it. No matter how you look at it, there's nothing more. Suddenly, before I could say the right thing, she went off and passed away by herself. For my entire life, I won't be able to forget this. This death. This maddening calmness. I'll never forget it. Tap. I hear the footsteps of the man who was watching it all. Finished, Shiki? Yeah, it's finished. Answering, I turn towards my enemy. We face each other in the moonlit hallway. Roa doesn't move from the spot where Arcueid was before. He was watching everything silently, probably because he knew he was in a dominant position. I didn't think you were still alive. Roa says this casually, as if nothing has happened. I take my glasses off and ready my knife. It seems those who escape death, or those who can see death, are good at escaping death. It isn't a matter of strength or weakness of your life. However, normally people call that useless effort. You're the one to talk. You and I, we've both already died once. Technically, Roa's died quite a few times at this point. Exactly, Roa says as he smiles. Those returning from the dead can understand death. You and I are special cases of that kind. I've experienced death 17 times before I got to this, but you've only done it once. Honestly, it must be the differences in our latent abilities. I am really curious about what kind of ability it would have been if I had reincarnated into your body. A bothersome, overly composed voice. Just hearing it makes my head hurt. I have 2 things to ask you, and 1 thing to tell you. I manage to say this while my head fills with pain. Oh? Alright, go ahead. Probably because he's so absolutely confident in his dominating position, Roa responds amusedly. The first question is the most important. Why did you kill Arcueid? Why? She was trying to kill me, so wasn't it natural to kill her back? Well, The one I desired wasn't this weak princess who came here. My current self could have taken part of the princess while she lived. But there's no point in taking in a true ancestor no different from a regular vampire. So I figured there was no value in taking her in, and decided to settle it. Even I'm disappointed with the way things have turned out. Cuckoo. Twisting his lines, the enemy laughs. My head hurts. Hurry. I have to kill him as fast as possible. I can't stand him existing a single second longer. Well, what do you plan on doing? Excuse me, had to cough there. Well, what do you plan on doing now? Don't tell me you think you can fight me in your condition. Oh, it's resisting me is useless, Shiki. I know that more than anyone else. Sorry if I have to pause to cough or end up pausing in the middle of a sentence because my throat's been kind of bothering me just in the slightest little bit, just ever so slightest tickle and annoyance. Dizziness causes me to collapse to my knees. But still, even if I don't have any power left to even stand, I gaze at him. Enough, enough. Even if you see my death, if you can't touch me, it's meaningless. You know, Shiki, I'm rating your ability rather highly. Yes, it was Shiki's personality. It seems Shiki's personality is fading away. Since he has avenged you, I'm more Roa than Shiki now. Well, it doesn't really matter. Roa takes another step forward. Isn't this power wonderful, Shiki? You should be happy. We're the only ones who possess the mystic eyes of death perception in the entire world. I don't actually think that's technically true in the Nasuverse. I mean, it probably is true in the sense of what he knows, but didn't one of the characters in Kara no Kyokai, I think, have the mystic eyes of death perception? Or maybe it was Mahoyo. I haven't read either. Well, Mahoyo is not actually translated yet completely, and I just haven't read or watched Kara no Kyokai. Or whatever. It would be a shame to lose such a rare ability, and more than anything else, we're the same entity. We can understand each other more than anyone else. Now my voice for him is super inconsistent because I can't seem to decide on what exactly I want his voice to be. Oh well, I came here because I wanted to improve myself, or I'm making this channel to improve myself, not to showcase my talent or lack thereof as a voice actor. There's no other partner who would assure me as you. You're trying to tell me to be your partner? No, not asking. I'm letting. I don't care about what you want. That would only get in the way. You can relax. After I drink your blood and plunder your soul, I'll make you into an existence where you won't hesitate to use your power. The gritting of my teeth. I see. Then, the next question. What you see, are they lines or points? No, I'll make it simpler. You can only see it on living things, right? You can't possibly see it on anything else. Of course, non-living things don't have any life. Only living things have this place indicating the source of life. I thought so. So we just found out that we are unequivocally better than Shiki in every single way, because his eyes aren't as good as ours. I understand completely vampire. I grip my knife. The headache completely governs the inside of my brain, and all I can see is one thing. You're not being clear, and those aren't really fitting final words, but enough talk. There's also the hiding woman from the church I have to deal with. You're lucky, Shiki. Once I make you my subordinate, your first opponent will be that woman you trust. Roa approaches. My wavering vision isn't fixated on his figure. What you and I see are totally different, Shiki. In the back of my head, a switch turns on. We hit trace on. All you're seeing is life. You don't understand death at all. That's why you can't kill me, and you're only able to kill a weakened woman. My brain reaches a white heat. What? If you could see death, you couldn't maintain your sanity. All you can perceive is the part which keeps things alive. If you could see death, you couldn't even manage to stand. To give an example, is the world on the moon. Everything is like a desolate wasteland. The seam of death on everything I see. Events of the world which disappear when I touch them. What are you? Being able to see the death of things mean you are forced to see the world's uncertainty and fragility. The ground is like it's not there. The sky seems about to fall away at any moment. What are you talking about? Roa's voice falters. Of course. Because he can't even understand the slightest bit of what I'm saying. In other words, his eyes and mine may be similar, but they are completely different things. Stop it. Those eyes, don't look at me with those eyes. Fear mixes into Roa's voice. He even said it himself. Humans are instinctually afraid of the unknown. You don't know of the illusion that the whole world could perish in an instant. That is what it means to see death. These eyes, this power isn't something you can boast about like you did. Yeah, back then I was even scared of walking. Even I would, if I had not met that person, I would have long since been insane. That's your mistake, vampire. Life and death may be back to back, but they will never face each other. I'm telling you, don't look at me with those eyes. The sound of running footsteps. But I'm many times faster. I'll show you. This is what it means to kill something. Saying that, I thrust through the hallway's point on the floor. Instantaneously, the lines racing through the hallway undulate. Wah! Even the sound of Roa's scream is buried amidst the crashing rubble. The passageway is literally killed. The blocks which lost their meaning break apart and crumble away. For Roa, it must have been a total surprise attack. Pulled down by the destruction of the hallway and the collapsing rubble, Roa falls to earth. In front of my very eyes, the passageway crumbles away. Enduring the pain in my head and the burning in my body, I head to the stairs. I head past Arcueid's corpse and hurry to the courtyard. Under the moonlight, the courtyard under the passageway has become a sea of rubble. In the center, something moves. He really is sly when dealing with death. I pull my almost collapsing body towards it. He is really something. The lower half of Roa's body is almost completely gone. Yet, coming out from underneath the rubble, the upper half of his body still moves, ignoring that fact. The amount of life may be almost something worthy of respect. Almost. What was that? Quivering, Roa wonders aloud. Walking on top of the rubble, I move directly in front of him. Shiki. Roa lifts his head to look at me. His eyes seem to practically ooze with hatred. You monster. His voice is equally full of indignant hatred. Who is? Replying, I stand in front of him. Roa's death is just a little right of his heart. I lightly thrust my knife forward, a sensation like piercing paper. That feeling is indeed death. Roa gives a small scream. He's someone who has experienced death. He should know this feeling really well. You're not scared, are you? It's a path you're quite familiar with. If there's a difference, it's only one thing. This time, you can't come back. I pull out my knife and turn away from Roa. Roa isn't dead yet. Like Arcueid, someone as long-lived as him will linger just a little bit longer. I breathe weakly. My mind wavers. If my body is at its limit, then my head is past its limit. Arcueid even said back then, I shouldn't force myself to look at the death of non-living things. If I do it too much, the blood vessels in my brain will burn away. I don't care about that. It would have been alright. Even if I turned myself into a vegetable, it might have been worth it to stop Roa sooner. That way, you wouldn't had to have... I collapse. I fall on the ground. My ankles are in pain. I turn around and see the upper half of Roa's body, which crawled this far. You. With bloodshot eyes, he makes his way onto my collapsed body. Fading, disappearing, I am His bloody arms wrap around my neck. Why, I disappear? How did you kill me? Me. Opening his saw-like mouth, he moves to bite my neck. I won't disappear. You and I are connected, you see. You transfer my existence. Links cannot be cut. His teeth dig into my neck. He vanishes. Roa's body falls apart in a single instant. There you are. Yes, with this, it means I'm the one who killed him. Senpai says this, sword in hand and breathing happily. I don't quite understand. I'm saying I'm the one who killed Roa. No matter who your opponent is, you should not kill humans. You are not someone who should come to my world. So, I'm the one who killed him. Senpai says this haughtily as she places her hands on her hips. Senpai, that's just sugarcoating it. Maybe it is, but it is a kind lie, so isn't it okay? Even if it is hypocrisy, doesn't it allow room for hope somehow? Those words are similar. When I told her not to talk about what ifs, she answered with something like that. Yeah, that's right. Somehow, somewhere. If there's hope, then how happy can that be? But that isn't really important, is it? Are you okay, Tono-kun? Were you bitten? Senpai rushes quickly to care for me. My consciousness fades away. I don't want to move anymore, and my brain wants to rest. Kun? Shiki? Hey! Farther and farther away. Eyes still open, with the glass-like moon overhead, my consciousness completely ceases. As it happens, I think to myself how it seems just like a television being switched off. Tsukihime. An epilogue. Shiki-sama, it is morning. Please wake up. I hear a familiar voice. Shiki-sama, please wake up. If you are late like yesterday, you will break your promise with Akiya-sama. A voice partly tense, partly relaxed. Shiki-sama, is it okay? Akiya-sama will end up scolding you again. No, it's not okay at all. I'm up, so hold on. Still under the sheets, I respond as I slowly open my eyes. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Morning. I give a sleepy greeting in response and put on my glasses. It's past 7 in the morning. Hisui came at her usual time and managed to wake me. I will prepare your breakfast. After changing, please head towards the dining room. Hisui disappears from the room after a bow. I give a big yawn. After a nice stretch, I get up from bed. I change into my school uniform and cast a glance at my desk. On top is the knife I will not ever use again. The curtains sway in the wind. Hisui must have opened the window. The sky is refreshingly clear. It's just a little cold, though. I approach the window to close it. As it turned out, I ended up waking up in my own room. It seems Senpai carried me here. Fortunately, Akiya and the others didn't know I left. It's been 1 week since that night. Tonoshiki's life hasn't changed a bit from where it was before. My relationship with Akiya is a bit uneasy at times, but of course we're brother and sister. Except for that passageway being repaired, the school has not changed at all. No, it did change. At school, there's no senpai called CL anywhere, nor does anyone remember her. The instances of serial murders haven't occurred once since then. Since there's been no official arrest, the city streets are still relatively empty at night, but it'll probably return to normal in a month. As for me, I carry an unfillable void in my heart, but I continue on as I did before. Or rather, I can bear it all. At times, I get overwhelmed when I'm assailed by memories, but I don't think I'll go insane or anything for now. Someday, will I go crazy after not being able to bear these memories, or will I return to the living normally after getting used to them? Perhaps it's about a 50-50 chance. But until then, even if it is a little girlish, I keep the final promise I've made with her every day. Autumn is drawing to a close, isn't it? The blue sky outside is enough to take my breath away. Taking a large, deep breath, I shut the window. Classes end and the schoolroom empties, but I won't leave until the sun sets completely. The red classroom. The burning sunset spreads outside the window. The sun flushes red as it sinks deep in the sky. I'll always be waiting here. I'll remember my unforgettable promise. I'll continue waiting here forever. There's still one promise I haven't been able to fulfill. When this is all over, when we're done defeating this vampire, before we part, can't we do something like this just once more? Back then, she tilted her head to the side in confusion. So, I really was wondering what would happen if we were to meet again without any responsibilities, if we just met for no particular reason. When I said those words, I was only thinking about her. If you're too busy, then it's okay. I only thought of it just now, anyway. Just not as two people cooperating, but for two friends who got along, not doing anything in particular. If we could create some normal memories like that, I knew she would be happy. Okay. When everything's over, let's come here again, Shiki. It won't have any meaning, but I'm sure it will be really, really fun. After her eyes widened in surprise, she nodded. In the classroom bathed by sunset, Arcueid smiled and made that promise with me. I remember that promise. I remember that smile. I remember everything. I can't forget. I won't forget. I'll always, always remember the promise we made in the room ablaze with the sunset to meet here again. The sun sinks further. These hours until the vermilion fades completely, the quiet time until the crimson sky disappears. This eternal, fleeting instant of a world standing still. Maybe I am already crazy. Even though I'm waiting for someone who will never come, my heart is horribly calm. Clatter. The sound of something touching a desk. I look. A window is open. I realize that, painted in the red sunlight, she is standing by the window. She doesn't move at all, but she's there. She is right in front of me. She's not an illusion. But I feel there is a distance which can never be spanned between us. I can't speak, but I feel so terribly calm now. Jeez. I really was planning on disappearing, Shiki, but you'd just wait forever. I couldn't just leave you alone like that, so I came here. She smiles bashfully. Well, you know, I did say I was never going to break a promise with you again. That's true. Thanks for keeping that promise. But I'm sorry. It seems this time that I'm the one who won't be able to keep it. Why? I'm surprised myself. I ask her this in a truly gentle voice, without any anger at all. Yeah, I never did tell you my reason for pursuing Roa. Actually, a long time ago, I once drank human blood. At that time, the human stole some of my powers and became an incredibly strong dead apostle. In the end, he ended up killing all the other true ancestors except for me. Then, that means... You mean Roa? Yes. Until that time, I never knew about the vampiric impulse. The other true ancestors believed I did not have it. But it was too late. Until then, I didn't even know I was a vampire. So I didn't even know it was something I shouldn't do. I see. Never having been taught anything extra, she wasn't even taught she was the same as those she killed. Because of just one mistake, I destroyed everything. So I won't drink human blood again. But a true ancestor that has once drank human blood cannot remain so sane without doing it again. I think my throat is a little bit sore, and I'm having a bit of an issue doing her voice. I can't be the only one here because you completely killed Roa. Even though I annihilated him so many times, it was only his flesh, not his soul. But you killed his existence completely, Shiki. So, the power he stole returned to me, and I somehow managed to revive. That doesn't... But that's all I can do. I can no longer resist the vampiric impulse inside of me. So, that doesn't matter. Shiki, I can't see you again. Sorry for breaking our promise. That doesn't matter to me. I just want you to be by my side, that's all. You can keep your promise. Shiki, drink my blood. If you do, you can keep your promise. Time passes by. Neither of us says anything. And after a truly maddening silence, I see, but I can't. I don't need your blood, Shiki. Why? Is my blood not good? Do you have a reason for not drinking it? She nods. I like you, so I won't. She smiles like a flower blooming triumphantly. I suck in a large amount of air and just try to suppress this feeling. I want to stop her. 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 Even if I have to kill her, I want to stop her. But her smile is just too gorgeous. I can't selfishly bring myself to ruin it. Goodbye. I really am grateful for everything, Shiki. My throat trembles and no sound comes out. But still, I have to say goodbye. I'm a liar. Why? You kept your promise, Shiki. Just a worthless liar. I said I would make you happy. Yes, I vowed to. No, not at all. I will sleep from now on, but I will always be dreaming of you. I enjoyed our time together so much, I will always be dreaming about it. It won't have any meaning, but I'm sure it will be really, really fun. So, Shiki, I really am happy. You really did make me happy. Damn. My throat is filled up. I don't want such a... You really are kind, Shiki. Yeah, I knew coming here to say goodbye was a good thing. I love you, Shiki. You're honestly, how you are always spaced out, how I'm the only one you yelled at, how you always looked forward to the future. I love all of you. So please, keep living like that, okay? For just an instant, she smiles sadly. She waves her hand, and as if fading into the sunset itself, she disappears before my very eyes. I grit my teeth, trying to hold it in. She was smiling until the very end, so at least I didn't want to cry. The classroom is empty. I see. You really did keep your promise. In this classroom, our promise to meet again in the classroom as the sun set, she definitely kept it. There are some things I lost, but it is now over. The curtain has fallen cleanly over the time I knew her, even the time I ran through with her. Come to think of it, a farewell is always there. In our case, our farewell was only early. Thinking of it that way, this was a really satisfying farewell. She was still alive, and she told me she's still happy. No, not like this. This isn't what I wanted. Right. More. I want to be with her more. I wanted to talk with her more. I wanted to feel the warmth of her body more. More. I wanted to see her smile more. Always. Not like this, but always I wanted to make her happy. But she, smiling to the end, she left me behind, telling me to live. That stupid idiot. That was her final wish. With a smile, she told me no matter how hard it is, even if I have to deceive myself right now, until I can fully see it all as simply a memory, to keep looking towards the future and live. There's no way I can do that. I don't have the slightest confidence to live like that. Still, so that she can see a happy dream, I have to at least grant her wish. I realize the sun has long since sank. The crimson sky is painted over in a dark blue. The dark night sky, the spiraling wisp of clouds, and a bright white moon. They are all that's left. But an extremely beautiful memory. Sigh. I exhale slowly, as if praying. She may no longer be here, but I have to say what I forgot to say earlier. Goodbye. I had a lot of fun, too. Those extremely late words of farewell echo through the classroom. Only the glass-like moon hangs in the night sky. The distant blue moon looking as if it would shatter if touched. For a long time until dawn, I kept looking up at it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the true ending of Arcueid's route. Can I skip through this? Yes, I kind of. I'll probably let this sit so I can give my, will I take CL Senpai's lesson? In just a second, yeah. If what I remember of all of the endings, I like her true ending more than her good ending more than her true ending, which means the one that we'll see later. But that was definitely an ending. That was not bad. I can't even say it's bittersweet because there is the slightest tinge of sweetness, but it's mostly just a bit bitter. I like that kind of ending, though. I like very sad endings like that. If I ever had the option to or chance to, I probably would write a book with a similar ending to that. That's very, very bittersweet. Kind of reminds me, in a way, of. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I'm confusing two parts of a book of. Blah. Ignore me. But let's take CL Sensei's lesson. I'll go into a bit more of my thoughts on this route after the good ending. You have reached Arcueid's true ending. Well done. Each heroine, with one exception, has two different kinds of endings, a true ending and a good ending. After reaching one of the endings, please go back a little and re-advance through the story. A different event should await you. Well then, thank you very much for playing up to this point. Let's meet again somewhere in Tsukihime. Yes, next time will be the final episode of Arc's route, probably, unless something very bad happens, and lengthwise, and it's way farther back than I thought. But next time should be the end of Arcueid's route and her good ending. So I hope to see each and every one of you next time in Tsukihime. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was mistaken about something, and, well, there won't be a finishing it next episode. This is going to be one very long episode. So, well, you'll find out why in just a moment. But, everything's the same up to this point. Actually, that's not necessarily true. Everything is the same up until this point. So we went to the epilogue, and I forgot to start it here because I'm a bumbling idiot. But we get to the true ending, or the true ending by choosing, when we get to this screen, after we've cleared through Arcueid's route once, after we've seen her true ending, we come here. I will keep my promise. I will never forget Arcueid. If we want to see the true ending, the one we just saw, we click I will keep my promise. If we want to see the good ending, which we do, we will click here. I will never forget about Arcueid. I start walking from the mansion atop the hill towards school. Like any other day, the morning is wrapped in tranquility. Autumn is almost over and winter is close by. Perhaps when this vague season in between the heat of summer and the chill of winter changes, maybe this transparent feeling will also change. I see more figures of students in uniforms the closer I get to school. Today is Saturday, so most of them are smiling as they walk along the road. Once I pass the intersection, I reach the front gate. It will soon be a month since I came back to the Tono mansion. I've already become well used to this route by now. The traffic light turns red and I stand in front of the crosswalk. Every time I stop here, I remember that one time. At this intersection, Arcueid was awaiting for Tonoshiki back then as she sat on the guardrail, just like she is doing now. Eh? I say without even thinking. Between the cars rushing by, a scene unfolds just like before. What? She's there. Dressed in white with golden hair down to her shoulders. Long, slender eyebrows over crimson eyes. Her figure, I could never mistake for anyone else, no matter what. This figure that has already vanished long ago. The light turns green. The students around me start moving. In the midst of it, I am the only one who stands still, and she is the only one who notices I am here. She has her typical smile as she crosses the intersection. I can't speak. I'm so overwhelmed with emotion I don't even know what to do. Even if this is just some sort of bad illusion, I'm so happy just to see her again. I could cry. Hello? Are you heading to school, student-san? I can't believe it. The illusion even has her voice down perfectly. I, however, don't, because I have a sore throat. And I'm not consistent anyway. Shiki? Hey, why are you so quiet? Don't tell me you forgot about me. Those red eyes looking up at me. There's no way I could forget. But at the same time, there's no way she can be here alive. I can't speak. The wrinkles on her eyebrows together, and she wrinkles her eyebrows together and glares at me like an angry cat. Jeez, what gives? I put up with you not going to see you and was waiting here so long. Don't tell me you're angry, Shiki. I just can't believe it. This isn't an illusion in front of me. It really is. Arcueid. Yes, it's me. Thank goodness. I thought you'd become a vegetable after fighting Roa. I was really worried, you know. Wait a minute. I'm so confused. What do I say? What should I be happy about? Is there something I need to do? I really am just so overwhelmed. I don't know. Shiki? Hey, you're acting funny. Your mouth is wide open, and so are your eyes. Well, it's kind of interesting for me, so I'll keep watching. Arcueid. That's what I mean. Geez, you just keep saying my name. We finally managed to meet again, so can't you find anything more fitting to say? Yeah, there's no mistake. There's only one person who could say such ridiculous things. Why? I can't hear you, so please say it a little louder. She tells me, come on, as she points her ear closer to me. Why are you still alive? I scream and voice my feelings as loud as I can. Oh, not so loud, Shiki. You don't say not so loud. Why are you alive? I thought you were gone, that I would never see you again, that I would always regret it. But why? This cheerfully, as if we only said goodbye yesterday. How can she greet me so simply? Oh, I see. I never did tell you, Shiki. Arcueid drops a fist into her other hand in realization. Yeah, I never did tell you my reason for pursuing Roa. He stole some of my power. In order to take it back, I pursued him, but you completely destroyed him, right? And the power that was freed from Roa returned to me, and I managed to come back to life. You never told me about that. No, I didn't. It didn't really concern you. Why did? Anyway, I revived, but I could barely resist the vampiric impulse inside of me. I probably would have done something terrible if I went to see you, so I slept until I regained my power. Because of that, I was able to return to normal, but it took 7 days to suppress my impulse. Then you're really okay now, Arcueid? Of course. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. She flashes me a full smile. Arcueid takes my hand. You know, Shiki, while I was asleep, I was really looking forward to meeting again like this. Because once I did, we could go around and do so many things. I was thinking it would be nice to get better, even if just a little quicker. Arcueid looks at me with a pure, unadulterated smile. I'm speechless. Not in a bad way. I'm just so happy. Being able to see her smile again, all the things we can do from now on, how I told Senpai that my wish was never to leave Arcueid alone again. Not one of them was lost. There's so many things I want to say and tell her right now. But right now, I'll just speak honestly from the heart. Welcome back. I've been waiting for a long time. I squeeze her hand in return and briefly tell her just that. She looks a little bewildered at first. Yeah. Saying that, she looks away in embarrassment. Arcueid, I call out to her. After a brief pause, she faces me with a full smile. Yes, I'm back. I'm glad you are still yourself, Shiki. My chest tightens. If this wasn't right on the way to school, I would embrace and kiss her. Her smile is just so adorable. All right, let's go, Shiki. You're going to take me to many places, right? Arcueid releases my hand and jumps like a rabbit. She's so radiant I can barely look at her directly. But, where? Anywhere. Somewhere you think is fun, Shiki. Smiling, Arcueid replies like it's nothing. But that's a little troubling. You know, I do have school. Hey, can't you at least spend a day with me today? Arcueid looks dissatisfied. Evidently, I'm extremely weak against that face of hers. Well, even if I went to school like this, I wouldn't be able to concentrate there. And more than anything else, I want to be with Arcueid. You're right. Who cares about boring reputation? Okay, Arcueid. I will indulge your selfishness for the day, my princess. Yay! Bump. She suddenly presses her body up against mine. Hey, Shiki. That night, what were you talking about with Ciel? Your feelings haven't changed? She looks up imploringly at me as she asks. My feelings that night? What do you mean? About saying you loved me. I start to sputter. It's too embarrassing for her to ask me this question when she's this close to me. Oh, I forgot. You shouldn't eavesdrop, Arcueid. I can't help it if I overheard. Anyway, come on, answer me. Your words that night, they haven't changed. Idiot. I don't even need to say that. Yeah, they haven't changed. I can't make any guarantees, but they'll probably never change. I'm so embarrassed, I look up at the sky and answer. Arcueid wraps her arms around mine. Oh, then you should prepare yourself, Shiki. Prepare? Prepare for what? I can't help but let a tinge of uneasiness creep in my voice. She holds onto my arm and speaks with a smile. Because you promised to be with me forever. Didn't I say so when we first met? I'll have you take responsibility for me. Then she starts to walk, still holding onto my arm. She's as energetic as a little child urging me to hurry up to get to a playground. Oh, I see. Certainly I would have to prepare. Speaking to no one in particular, I start to walk with her. I head towards some random place, going against the flow of students going to school. Where to? Well, there's no place we can't go. The sunlight really suits this princess of the moon accompanying me. The weather is a perfect blue sky. Hand in hand, we walk towards a new beginning for the two of us. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the good route for Arcueid. And I guess I'm going to give my thoughts over it as the credits play. Arcueid is a very good route. Arcueid is my... probably either tied with second or just barely third favorite heroine of the game. I think it would be more akin to tied for second, but at the same time, it's a hard decision. I like all of them. Well, number one's not a hard decision, but Seba. Oh, never mind. I thought I said Seba. I'm very tired. But I do enjoy it quite a lot. I do enjoy her quite a lot. And I enjoy this game very much. In the grand scheme of things, Ark's route is probably my second least favorite route. But that's just because my favorite three are so good. I'm not in any way saying Ark's route is bad. It's more like 1A, 1B, 2, and like 1A, 1B, 2, and 3, and then whatever. It's just... well, I guess we'll get into the other routes to get my opinions on them without going into any spoilers this time. But it is very good. This visual novel is very good overall, is what I mean. And, Ark's route is very good. As I mentioned, I prefer the good ending over the true ending. But as a creative person, as someone that likes to come up with stories, I actually prefer, from a writing standpoint, I prefer her true ending over her good ending. But again, personally, I enjoy reading more of the good ending kind of ending. Yeah, I guess there's not much else I can say. There's not much else I need to say. Let's just kind of skip through this and get to the next part. Yeah, that's Ark's route. We are not finished with her character for sure. Will I take her lesson? Yes, it's pretty much the same as the last time. Pretty much. You have reached Arcueid's good ending. Well done. Each heroine, with one exception, has two different kinds of endings, a true ending and a good ending. After reaching one of the endings, please go back a little and re-advance through the story. A different event should await you. Oh, and another thing. If you have a save data where you cleared at least one heroine, it may be a good idea to restart from the first day. You may have more choices than before. Well then, thank you very much for playing up to this point. Let's meet again somewhere in Tsukihime. Yes, we will meet again. We will meet again next route. Because next time we're together, next time we go through Tsukihime, we will be in Ciel's route. And that will be most enjoyable, because Ciel's route, well, I'll get into it, but her route is a lot of fun. It shares a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of overlap with Ark's route, but there are enough differences, especially the farther we get into it, that it makes it enjoyable. And one of her endings I remember being quite silly in what it was implying. But anyway, I guess I should end this, shouldn't I? Well, everybody, this is the end of Tsukihime Arcueid's route. God, tongue twisted. I fucking can't speak. But I hope to see you all in whatever comes next. Well, in Ciel's route next. Goodbye and good night.